need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. This is the time of year that we all start, if you have kids in school, or maybe you remember when you were in school, you're looking at the summer and going, gosh, this is the good time. This is the time you get to take time off. Or maybe you're doubling up and you're going to go through the summer going to school. Or perhaps you're heading on to college, and let's hope you have some money for that. If you don't, there are things you can do. If you're beginning your senior year, I guess in the fall, then that might be the best time. Governor Tim Pawlenty is on the phone. I believe he's been with us before. He is actually the former governor of the state of Minnesota. He's also the president and CEO of the Financial Services Roundtable, and probably you remember he ran for the presidency in 2012. He is going to tell us about the Junior Achievements 2015 Teens and Personal Financial Survey, and a lot of this has to do with putting money away for college. Governor Pawlenty, good morning, Governor.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on the show, and thanks for mentioning the Junior Achievement Study. They partnered with the Allstate Foundation. They do that every year, and they do a study about personal finance, and this year they included parents in the survey. And one of the key findings was a big mismatch between what students or children think about who's paying for college and what parents think. And over half of the kids think that the parents are going to pay for college, and only about 16% of the parents are actually planning to pay for college.
That's not good. That's not good.
Big mismatch.
Now, in the state of Florida, we have the prepaid program. You can sign up a child from the day they're born. Are we unique in that, or does every state have some form of that?
Well, there's some. Not every state has that. In fact, I'd say probably a minority of the states have it. But there are some states that say, look, if you're a state resident and you get at least, to say, a B in your high school GPA, then you get to go to college for free in that state. So that helps in many states.
Wow, that's even better. Yeah, well, and that only seems like it's a good idea, obviously, if the kids are doing well, because they're going to be the ones who are the movers and shakers later on in life. So give them the education they need.
Yeah, and you may have been referring maybe to the 529 plans, which is a college expense and college tuition saving plans that parents can get involved in putting money in, like a 401k. It grows, and then you can take the money out tax-free if you use it for college or education expenses.
So how do you take the difference between what the parents were, the answers of the parents and the answers of the kids, and use that in a practical way? How do you use that information?
Well, it really speaks to a lack of communication between parents and kids, and the survey elsewhere shows that, kids look to parents to be the primary role models or teachers of this information, not just as to college, but personal finance generally. And yet parents are not really talking to their kids about these topics. So the way we use it is to encourage parents and equip them with information and encouragement to talk more to their children about personal finance, and simple things like give them an allowance if you can afford to do that, and help them figure out how to manage the allowance. If you can, help them set the budget for simple things like buying groceries, and show them how a budget works. Show them how, if you're going to use a car, how insurance gets paid. Show them how all the bills get paid, using how the bills come in, what they look like, how they get paid. Encourage them to get a summer job if they can, if that's a possibility, because obviously if they make money, they treat it differently and respect it differently.
Absolutely, yeah.
The list goes on, and there's a lot of easy ideas for people to use.
One of the things I remember when I was younger, and I guess it's still true, that you would go to a community college for the first 2 years. Is that common across the country too?
It is for a lot of kids. It's a lower cost option, in many cases a more convenient option. So these community colleges offer a more affordable tuition rate in many cases. They also are located in places where many kids can then still live at home. I know not every parent wants to hear that, but it can be a more affordable option. And then the credits transfer. You do 2 years at the community college. Credits transfer to a more mainline university, and then you get your degree from that follow-on university.
There are a lot of scholarships available for the students, but sometimes the students are kind of leery to apply for them because they don't think they're worthy. And how do you encourage students to just go ahead and apply for the scholarships?
Well, that's a great question, and that, again, takes, I think, parent encouragement and, of course, school officials and teachers and coaches can play a role in that too. But it would be helpful if the scholarships, and there's so many of them, if they could use a common application. So if you filled out one, it would serve more than one purpose, because one of the biggest deterrents for kids on scholarships is, first of all, learning about the availability of the scholarships, and then two is they get turned off by the amount of paperwork that has to get done to apply. So simplifying that process, I think, would encourage more kids to apply.
Is there any mention of the military being used as like a stepping stone for college? And I saw some kids will do that. They'll go into they'll join the service because the service offers some kind of a college program.
Yeah, there's so many things to think about. So obviously colleges and universities have a sticker price. It's sort of like a car lot, but most students don't pay the sticker price. So there's discounting of tuition. There's grants from state and federal government. There's student loans. There's school work-related opportunities. There's scholarships, as was just mentioned. And then, as you mentioned, another option for many students, it's not for everybody, but it's terrific, and we honor and respect this service. If students are interested in serving in the military, they can get most, if not all, of their college tuition and expenses paid for.
And one of the things that the prep material indicated is that there was a divide between the young men and the young women. Is there any explanation as to why there's a divide, or what the divide tells us?
Well, we know it exists. The survey shows that parents are not encouraging girls in the same way, with the same information and at the same levels as they do boys. And I think being aware of that would be helpful to parents, and to make sure that they offer the same encouragement at the same levels to their daughters in terms of money and future job earning potential as they do boys. But it does show up in the survey that gap exists, unfortunately.
And that is one statement I take issue with, because I've raised a son and a daughter. My son graduated first with high honors, and I encouraged him to go for scholarships. And before my daughter graduated, I encouraged her to go for scholarships too, and she applied and was awarded scholarships. So I just don't understand why there aren't more parents out there that treat their children the same.
I agree completely with that, and we just need to encourage more parents. The survey shows the gap exists, and now we just need to get to work at making sure parents are, the first step to addressing it is making people aware of it, and then hopefully they'll be able to do a better job of filling that gap.
Wow, there was a gap with boys and girls. Was there a gap in financial status? Do the folks with less income have different answers in the survey than those who have more income?
The survey results that I have don't break it down by socioeconomic segment or strata, so I can't answer that part of the question. Uh-huh. But, obviously parents with more modest resources may have a harder time finding ways to fund these things, but that doesn't mean you can't have the conversation. It doesn't mean you can't teach and learn, and, simple things like I said, if you're going to go to the grocery store anyhow, showing what the budget is and talking through how you came to the priorities about what to buy, how you might use coupons, how you pay for it. Is it going to be cash or a check or credit card or debit card? And if it's one of those things, how do they work? How do you set up an account like that? How do you monitor an account like that? Right. Those are all just simple things that you can teach kids with really no cost.
I seem to remember when my son was at that age that I would, I remember putting the feelers out to try to see who in our community had answers that I didn't have. And the local schools was the answer, not just the high schools, but even the local colleges would be a great resource. Is that still the case? Because in my case, that would have been more than 10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, some states have built-in personal finance education right into their school curriculum, or some school districts have. Most have not. So it really falls back to the parents and the family setting to do this in most cases. But there's some other great resources, too. Junior Achievement has a website, ja.org, or you just Google Junior Achievement. Get on their website. They've got all kinds of links and resources to how parents and kids can learn more in easy-to-use format about household and personal finance. So I hope that people will check that out.
And we Google everything these days, whether it's a nosebleed to cancer.
Yes.
Is there information online that actually helps us with this? Maybe you have a website you can leave us with?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, ja.org is a good starting point. There's others too, but you'll see when you get on there, it's easy to navigate, and it's kind of designed for young people and parents to learn more about how on these topics and how to talk about it and how to access more resources.
Really good information, and the conversation really is important. You need to start that early. That's kind of a given, and that's kind of what this kind of says to me as a parent, although it doesn't apply to me right now. But the first thing I would do looking at this is, gosh, I got to sit down and see, what do you want to do with your life? Let's go to the schools and see what programs they have, and then find out how to pay for it, and then get something started.
Communication, I'm getting the hook here, but you just put your finger on the main point, which is better communication between parents and kids on these topics.
Yeah. Governor Pawlenty, thank you so much for being on the air with us. The website is ja.org. Pretty simple for junior achievement. Thank you, Governor.
You got it. Thanks for having me on.
All right. We'll be right back. This is WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. More clouds and sunshine for today with a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon or this evening. High between 85 and 87. Later on tonight, partly cloudy, low 65 to 70. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow with a high between 80 and 86. And then for Saturday, partly sunny, and we'll have a warm afternoon with a high Saturday between 87 and 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Career Source Citrus Levy Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Real estate is the largest and most personal investment that any of us will ever make. Be sure to tune in Tuesdays at 10 a.m. when Bob Kennedy, owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty, will be answering your questions and discussing real estate. So remember, that's Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Call 622-9622 with your questions. It pays to be an informed buyer or seller. This is news you can use from Berkshire Hathaway Home Team Realty and your friends here at WOCA.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
Enjoy a round of golf in one of Central Florida's finest courses and help a great cause Monday, May 11th, when Life South Community Blood Centers hosts a golf tournament to benefit the 5 Points of Life Foundation. The scramble will be held at Golden Ocala with registration and lunch at 11 and a shotgun start at 12:30. The cost is $200 per person, which includes a player gift package. To register, call Life South at 352-224-1728 or visit 5pointsoflife.org.
Check this out.
New shows? Check. Some new talent? Check. The same great sports talk?
I'm seeing it right now.
Wrong.
Wrong again? Wrong.
It's better.
There are so many great things going on in sports.
We gotta get it. From our mics.
Test.
To your ears.
The latest update we got is...
awesome.
Kenny's Place Nursery offers horticulture training for the mentally handicapped, and that makes them beautiful people in my book. And those beautiful people have some beautiful plants and flowers on sale, like annuals in 4-inch pots for only $1 each, a 3-gallon bottle brush plant for only $8, Confederate jasmine, 3 gallons for $8. How about azaleas, 1 gallon for only $4.25, and a 2-gallon pot of knockout roses for only $17. Call 352-867-1213 for Kenny's Place Nursery.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
Black Cow, the mature manure Black Cow.
We often mention enriching your native soil with Black Cow when you prepare a flower bed or a vegetable garden, or plant new shrubs and trees. Adding Black Cow helps retain moisture and adds millions of healthy microbes to your soil. Healthy soil means healthy plants, but you can also top dress with Black Cow composted cow manure even after planting. You can come back a month or two later and spread Black Cow on top of the soil around the root zone of a shrub or tree, or spread it evenly over a flower bed or rows of vegetables in your garden. Black Cow releases nutrients slowly. It won't burn tender roots because it's fully composted. Look for the bright yellow and black bag at your favorite nursery or garden center, and visit the website too at blackcow, spelled with a K.com.
Black Cow, the mature manure Black Cow.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now